Today's class is a full body standing sculpt with no equipment, so you can really do it anywhere. You don't even need a mat. I've just got one to keep the sand off my feet. We're gonna start with our feet nice and wide, wider than hips, rolling the shoulders down and back, and we're gonna circle the arms up overhead, big reach, and then start to circle them down, nodding through the chin, start to roll it down through the spine. Head hangs below the hips, opening up through the backs of the legs for just a moment. And then we press down through the heels as we slowly articulate back up to reach, get even longer. We'll just do one more like that to warm up through the spine. Find our alignment, even weight through both heels. Exhale, lift up through the core as we roll back up. Arms reach, and then start to bring them down into a pyramid pose. So palms are pressed together, elbows lifted in line with the shoulders. And we're just gonna find a press between the palms and then release it slightly. So it might look like I'm not moving much at all. Press between the palms and release. I want you to start to feel this hugging sensation underneath the armpits, like you're pulling the elbows towards one another, but they're not moving, right? They're staying in line with the shoulders more or less. Okay, we're gonna add on, we press, and then start to reach nice and wide. Okay, you find that connection and reach. Soft bend in the knees here. Still have that wide stance going. And we're trying to get nice and even through both sides of the body. We find this connection and then expansion. Okay, starting to warm up through the upper body a little bit more. All right, and then we'll start to add in the lower body. So next time you come to pyramid, start to hinge the hips back, reach long, and then stand up, expand. Inhale back, exhale, lift up through the core to stand. So you're pressing through the heels, finding that connection through the backs of the legs every time we lift up. And the sensation is length and core connection as well as we hinge back. So the torso gets longer. Think tailbone reaching behind you, crown of head, fingertips reaching in opposition. That area under the armpits, it feels like it's pulling upwards, so the sides of the waist are getting longer as you hinge back. And then expand, reach. You keep the length. Finding the breath pattern that works best for you here. Okay, let's do two more like this. Maybe sitting even lower in that hinge. For this last one, we sit it down. Start to press the arms back and then take them back to your pyramid. The goal here is only arms moving. So the rest of the body is nice and stable. I'll show you from the side. Belly button pulling up away from the floor. Ribs are in. We've got that little dip in the lower back, keeping our neutral spine. And the core is working to keep us weighted back in our heels and nice and stable as the arms create this imbalance. Starting to warm up triceps as well. Maybe the heart rate feels like it's coming up a bit. Let's do two more. Inhale, exhale, press. Now we just press and press. It's a tiny tricep press back. Checking in on back of neck. It's nice and long in line with the spine. We've got that equally wide chest as upper back, so not allowing the shoulders to round forward. Every time you extend through the elbows, you feel the triceps light up for 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Hold. Start to take one arm, cross reach forward, press it back, cross reach forward, press it back. So it's like a high diagonal reach. With this reach, we're creating some rotation through the ribs, through the spine. You can think of it like from the belly button up, trying to isolate the hips instability as the upper body rotates. Keeping the engagement through the arm, reaching back. Imagining like you've got weights there to provide a little extra mind to muscle connection. All right, last one. We hold it back now, palms slip up. We start to draw tiny circles, shoulders down away from the ears. I know it can start to creep up around here. Let's do 4 more in this direction. Still connecting to the core, lifting up and away. Let's reverse those circles, tiny, tiny, tiny. Coming from deep in the shoulder girdle. Give me 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then allow yourself to round forward, folding over the legs, taking some deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll press through the heels, rolling it all the way up, bone by bone. Start to take the hands nice and wide reach like we started. We're gonna start to shift it to the left. Reach the arms pyramid as you step the right toes back. And then we'll shift side to side. Okay. So you're keeping torso center, creating a little rotation now through the lower body as one leg steps back behind you into your straight hinge curtsy. The back of the body is coming into one long line. You're still finding the connection through the palms, keeping the upper body going. And maybe as we continue to flow through here, you find a little more length, a little more depth into that curtsy. You should feel this beautiful reach. It's almost like a mini side bend from the toes that are stepping back all the way up into that same side waist, out of the crown of head, creating some extra length of the obliques. Let's do one more each side. Still finding connection through arms. Little balance work, moving side to side. Last one. All right, left hand comes to the waist, right hand comes forward. Make sure you've got room to step behind you. We're gonna step it back, bent lunge, right elbow pulls by side, and then come back up to standing. Okay, pulling back, and then tap forward. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, pressing through the front heel. Feeling that left glute, front standing leg start to light up here. Inhale, pull, feeling the mid back as you row wide with the right arm. It's not so much of a pinching sensation, but the shoulder blade is hugging the spine. Let's do 2 more here. Last one, we hold it nice and low, stacking hips and ribs. We reach right arm across towards the front knee and then pull it back. So it's a diagonal reach. Feeling that reach coming from the core. It's not so much arm reaching. It's almost like the arm does start it, but the core really takes you over there. Hips stay facing forward. So again, the stability through the lower body while upper body's moving, finding some work through the abdominals. All right, we got one more. And hold it back. We're gonna do tiny pulse down and lift, down and lift. Okay, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Every time you press up, you feel that front glute light up and feel that belt around the low abdominal cinch a few notches and then release it to lower. You cinch and release. Connect it to the breath for 2. Last one, sink it back low. Now we lift that left foot and lower. Maybe we add the right arm opening and lowering, keeping that right elbow in place, right knee in place. Okay. Maybe you feel the back quads start to light up as well since we're in this upright stacked position. Trying to stay as stable as possible. Can you start to emphasize on the lower, pressing the left heel down, squishing something underneath that left heel. Again, feeling the left glute light up immediately there. All right, give me 2 more. Whew. Last one. Lifting it back up, we lower an inch and lift an inch. It's a pulse, but controlled. Ooh, find that balance, that stability. Connecting to the core when it gets challenging for lower body. 3 more. Last 2. And 1. Lower back down, lower that heel, start to press through it as we lift back leg and arm. Okay, lowering down, right arm and knee, they reach. So it's that same sensation when we were squishing that heel down. I want you to find that through the front heel to help lift the body up. Inhale, lower, exhale, core pulls up and in, you cinch that belt. Finding the breath to help you. Thinking growing a little bit taller on that standing leg with each lift. Can we go for 2 more? 2, get a little lower on this last one. Last one. Up with the knee lift, circling that right arm down. Now we're gonna flex through that right heel, kick it back behind you as you hinge forward. I know, lots of balance work through this front leg. And lift. Okay, so we press it back. You're in one long line. Woo! Ankle stability. Maybe find a spot to focus on that can help. Okay, I'm gonna find my spot, but I'm still watching you, so keep going. And again, connecting to the core will be the most helpful here. Flexing the heel, kicking it back. Feel that right glute light up, especially as you find that full extension of the right hip as you kick it back right at the end there. Feel it. All right, 2 more like this, and then we're gonna hold that hinge long line at the back of the body. Okay, on this last one, we find that hold, pull the core up and in, chest is nice and wide, upper back nice and wide. We pull the knee in now, and then flex back. Okay, we pull in, same thing, but now upper body is stable. We're holding this hinge, trying to keep the hips squared off in front of us. Not only do you feel glute on the kickback, you should feel core controlling the neutral spine. So there's no rounding or extending going on in the lower back. Cinch the belt, find the glutes, okay? It's a cinch. And glute. For 2, we should feel that standing leg working as well. Last one. Pointing through the toe, getting nice and long through that right leg. We find our tiny circles. Last progression here, I promise. And then we'll give that supporting leg a break. Give me 2 more in this direction. Then let's reverse, staying nice and long and lifted. Woo, give me 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. And then pull it in, reaching the arms up overhead. You can keep your narrow stance this time. Circling down and around. Allowing the head to fall, opening up through the backs of the legs. Maybe you take the fingers to the ground and find a little heel pedal to release through the feet. Okay, and then when you're ready, planting both heels down, pressing down into them as we bend through the knees, start to roll up through the spine, all the way up, circling the arms up, and then bringing them back down to your T. This time, left hand comes forward, right hand on the hip. We're going to step it back with the left leg as you pull left elbow back, and then reach, tap it forward to standing. Okay, our goal here is to remain upright. So as we come back into our lunge, hips and ribs are staying stacked. That way we're getting both front and back of the supporting leg. Finding that press through the front heel as you come up to standing. Maybe lighting up the mid-back a little bit. As you find that row nice and wide, think shoulder blade, scapula hugging the spine without puffing the ribs out. Can we do 2 more here? All right, finding this last one, holding down and back. Now, we're gonna reach that left arm across the body and then pull back. Reach it across and pull back. Nothing in lower body moves. You can think from belly button up. We're finding this beautiful rotation. You'll feel a little bit of length and work through this left oblique. Okay, it's more length carrying you over, and then left oblique working to pull you back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull back. Last 2. All right, last one. Holding back. We find a tiny pulse, lower and lift. When I say pulse, it's always controlled, right? So I'm gonna think where you're pressing from. You're pressing through that front heel every time you come up a few inches, and then you release it. What's the core doing? The belt is releasing as you lower down, and it's cinching to help you find that lift. Hip bones coming together and then gliding apart. For 3. Woo, feeling the legs on this round. For 2. Okay, and 1. Lower back down. Now we lift that front heel. Maybe you add that opening of the left arm. So that shoulder rotation, trying to keep left elbow glued in one spot as we open. Watching ribs, they're not puffing out, right? Everything stays the same. Can we start to emphasize that lower through the front heel? It squishes something underneath it as we lower. Squish the bug. Okay. Don't actually, because bugs are our friends, but imagine. Okay, you're gonna really feel that right glute light up as you press down. Give me 2 more. Woo! Might feel that back quad as well. Last one. Holding up there, we lower and lift, making sure both knees are still tracking in line with the feet in parallel. When it gets challenging, again, connecting to core. I know you can do this. Can you sink it a few inches lower for me? For 4. Whew. Last 3. Give me 2. And 1. And then lower that right heel down. Immediately we find that lift pressing up through the left arm. There it is. And then we step back down into our lunge. So almost the same as when we started, but now we've got more connection through this front leg, right? So you can find even more lift, even more support. Connecting to the core, not tucking under through the tail as we lift that left knee. It's just lifting up through the core. You're getting a little bit taller with each reach. Let's go for 4 more. Last 3. We're gonna find our balance at the top. So really use this moment to get it primed. Last one. Lifting all the way up, circling that left hand down, releasing the shoulders. Start to hinge forward as you send that left leg back behind you. Flex through the foot, and then inhale, lift, okay? We flex back, kick back, keeping hips squared off. Inhale to lift. Okay, you're gonna feel that left glute light up as you kick it back. And of course, you should be feeling that supporting standing leg all the way from the toes up to the hip. Anytime you need to take a break out of it, woo, losing my spot. Take a break, and it's normal to lose your balance there. That's how you know you're working to your limits. If you need to take a break, tap out of it, and then reset, come in, find your focus, find your core. Even I lose my balance sometimes. You can use your hand, arm as a counterbalance if it helps you. Give me 2 more. Press on this next one. We hold it back, holding in your hinge. Pull that left knee in and press it back. Okay, pull it in and press. We pull in core, press back glute. My right leg is on fire. It's my weaker leg. So working on this holding stability challenge. Can we do 2 more? Okay, last one. We hold it back, pointing through the left toes. Start to draw those tiny circles. You should feel that area underneath the left glute where it connects to hamstring. For 3 more in this direction, and then we switch. This is it. 8 and 7. Woo! Pushing myself to my limits here. Give me 4 and 3, last 2 and 1, and step it in. I feel that circling arms up. Those shakes are going, nodding through the chin. You notice which leg, that feels good to release. Which leg is a little bit more challenging for you to find that stability on. And then maybe over time, we'll work to even it out as much as possible, but just know it's totally normal. Okay, maybe we find a little pedal through one foot and then the other, just releasing through the feet, the ankles a little bit after all that stability work. Okay, and then when you're ready, both heels plant, and we lift all the way up, circling arms up, and then back down. Okay, we're gonna take the feet nice and wide now, finding an external rotation through the hips, knees in line with toes. Okay, we're gonna take the arms center, finding that pyramid, and then reach nice and wide, okay? Pyramid connection underneath the armpits, serratus lats. Pressing evenly through both heels as you come to stand, imagining there's a zipper along both inner thighs, all the way to the heels, up into the core, and it zips up as you lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, find that zipper. Give me 3. We're gonna hold in 2. Checking on alignment before we get there. Last one, we're gonna hold it here. Arms reach out long. I want you to side bend, reach, and then back to center. Side bend, reach. Finding length. This should feel nice to the spine, and you'll start to feel a build through lower body as you hold that stability. Inhale, exhale, reach. Give me 3. Last 2. And 1. Holding here, hands come back to pyramid. Start to lift the right heel, stamp it down. Left heel, stamp it down. So we're alternating. You're trying to keep yourself at the same level. Hi, from behind my hands. Okay, so imagine there's a ceiling above your head that you can't come up over. Beautiful. Still working through those feet, right? Lots of beautiful stability. 1 more each side. Either keep going here, remembering that stamp, or we go double time. Lifting the heels, lowering. Allow those shoulders to come down the back. Inhale, lower. Find a deeper connection through the hands. Inhale, lift. Emphasis, lower. Press down. Feel both glutes. I'm shaking. Inhale. Woo! I don't know if you can see that shake on the camera, but it's happening. Once you really connect mind to muscle, it's almost impossible not to find it. Holding heels on this last one. We lower an inch, lift an inch. It's super tiny. I want you to connect to the core each time. All right, we've got 5 more. And 4, can you sink a little bit lower for me? And 3. And 2, pressing down into balls of feet. Last one, coming all the way up, planting the heels, turning the feet back parallel. Hands come wide. This time, we're gonna find a reach and a reach. Just start to flesh it out. Reaching high diagonal, creating this long line at each side of the body. Okay, maybe the arm going back finds a little tricep press behind you. Get that breath going. Give me 4 and 3. Last 2 and 1. Bringing it back to center. Sit down into that right heel. Pyramid arms. Find a tiny pulse back through that right hip. Okay. Sitting down and back. More than you're thinking, pressing that hip side. Again, that length out of the crown of the head, out of the tailbone. Give me 3, 2, 1. Hold. We reach back to center. So that right arm reaches back, left arm reaches across diagonal. It's like a single arm tricep kick back with this rotation, keeping hips center. Can you sit a little bit lower into that right glute for me? For 3. Last 2. I'm with you. And 1. Now press off that right heel. Okay, big star reach. Soft landing, articulating through that right foot. Every time you land, finding that area underneath the right glute where it meets the hamstring, that smile line, as you press through the right heel to find that lift. See if you can hold a second, find that balance. For 3. All right, last 2. Okay, last one. Can we hold? Start to reach that right foot across, back side. Okay, just the legs for these first 4. Woo! Find a nice sturdy left foot on the ground. Hello, roosters. Now start to reach left arm across and back open. Creating this big rotation through the core. You should feel outer thigh as you kick side, inner thigh as you kick cross reach. For 3. Staying nice and tall on that left leg, inner thigh pulling up. Last one. Holding side. Start to draw tiny circles with that right leg. Reaching long through both arms. Give me 2 and 1. Let's reverse. Maybe you lift it an inch higher without collapsing through the core. Give me 4, side glute. Last 3, should feel this entire side working. 2 and 1, stepping it back down. We sit into the left heel now. We start to sit it back in space, back in space. You can adjust your stance if you need, but it doesn't have to be too wide. I want you to think left hip, left knee, ankle, toes, all in one parallel line there. And we're just finding that connection through the palms, finding that hug underneath the shoulder girdle. Still keeping shoulders away from the ears, tension out of the neck. Give me 3 and 2. Hold that pulse back. Left arm reaches back, right forward. Come back center. Creating beautiful rotation. Should feel really nice despite this build in the glute, right? It's a little distraction. Can you find left tricep as you reach it back? Right oblique as you reach and pull back. Okay, I think we inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pull back. Inhale, lengthen. Okay, either breath pattern will work as long as you still breathe. Let's do 2 more. Sit a little bit lower. Last one. Now pull it back center. We press out of that left heel and then carefully come back down. So it's a soft landing from the ball of your feet all the way back to the heel. Think of articulating in both directions. Toe to heel, heel to toe, lift. Once you get used to it here, see if you can find a little balance hold at the top and then lower it back down, challenging the core and prepping for that hold we have coming up. Give me 4 more here. Still finding that connection through the palms. Press, reach. 2 more. All right, last one. Can we find it? All right, kicking left foot across, back side. No other changes. Tiny rotation being created through lower body. As you kick across, you feel inner thigh, outer thigh kick side. Let's start to add that right arm. It reaches across. Okay, you can take your gaze with it if you feel stable, or keep your gaze forward on a focus point. Okay, you can also do this by tapping the left toes to the ground and not holding so much balance, right? Just see where you're at today. Every day is a little bit different with balance. Give me 3 more reach. Woo, we got that hold in 2. Our last piece in 1. Holding side, get nice and expansive as we circle through that left leg. It's coming from deep in the left hip. Can you feel the outside of the left leg? 1 more this direction. Now let's reverse. We've just got 8 and we're done. 7. Give me 6, get longer. 5 and 4. Give me 3. You got this for 2. And 1, step it down wide, circling the arms up. Big inhale. And then circle down, start to heel toe, keeping that fold over the legs. All right, maybe you cross through the elbows and find a little sway side to side. If it feels good, you can pedal out through the legs or pedal out through the ankles. Just take what you need here to find that little release. And then we're really gonna just flesh it out to finish. Coming back to center, I want you to roll it up to stack the spine. Feet are about hip distance apart. Get nice and soft and bouncy, okay? Lose that control we worked on. You're gonna reach the arms up overhead, big inhale. Then as you exhale, out through the mouth, you bend the legs, swing the arms by the side, and then come back up to stack the spine. It's a big rag doll, okay? It's meant to just flush out any last bits of tension. Okay. One more. Reach overhead, biggest inhale you've taken all day. And then let it go. We are all done. That was your full body standing sculpt. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the mat soon.